What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to another video. It is time to get all of those parts onto that truck, and that's what we're starting off with this evening. Just picking at getting this red onto the gray truck, which at this point in time, it's Monday evening. The truck has still remained nameless. We want to get better at naming the trucks, and honestly, my mind kind of went to like the paint coat on the truck because I just don't want to call it the gray truck because the gray truck's kind of, well, boring and not very unique. The paint coat is granite crystal, and I was like, man, we've made jokes about, you know, calling trucks girl names, and I'm just like, we should call it Crystal. I'm just saying, sounds like a good old classy lady name. And when I say classy lady, I don't really mean classy, but hopefully you guys can read between the lines. But good old Crystal here, she's gonna be rowdy. She's gonna be a problem. She's one of those gals, you know, you just, Anyway, let's move on from that topic and let's go ahead and get this pile of parts. We didn't have headlights in the last video, squirrel moment here, but check out the headlights on this bad thing from 2-3 Designs. Check them out. Oh, we got the Wrenchworks logo in them. Man, 2-3 Designs killed it on these headlights. I'm super stoked to see these in there. But anyway, let's stop yapping and let's get to work. Decided to go ahead and start with the front suspension on the truck. Kind of one of the bigger jobs. Going to be installing some stuff that we've never really put on before. We have got a Brothers Diesel product front 4-link kit. Now, you guys can see this is the front radius arm. It's got 3 points of attachment, 2 on the axle side and 1 on the factory drop bracket. You guys can see the pieces and parts roughly of what that's going to look like. We've got 2 axle attachments, again, upper and lower on the front axle, and then we've got this drop bracket here and uses some big joints, and we're going to be using that instead of this factory arm piece. Going to give it a really cool look. Again, we've never put one on, but we're going to go ahead and start by installing the frame bracket side. Then we'll go ahead and install the joints, all that stuff, kind of let you guys know how it kind of goes together and what it all looks like. But I've seen these things on plenty of trucks. Gives it a super tough look from the side. So Brothers Diesel product 4-link going on the front. That's where we're kind of starting, and we'll go ahead and probably try to like wrap up most of the front, get this thing back on its own weight in this video, front and rear. We've got Brothers Diesel product stuff going on in the rear as well, mixed in with Harley, a 3.25 lift. Honestly, probably one of my more preferred, I would say favorite lifts. Gives it a nice stance, but still keeps the suspension pretty tight, pretty sporty. If you're gonna be ripping around a lot of some of the lifts, so to say, some of the spring rates just get a little, I guess, loose, if you want to call it, a little floaty. I really like the Carly stuff that we get from CJC Off-Road paired with the King 2.5s. Keeps it tight, keeps it sporty. You can rip around and you're not really feel like you're floating down the road. So we're gonna mostly focus on suspension and get some of this stuff wrapped up because I'd like to get the truck back down on its own weight. So let's start with the front 4-link. Let's move through that and I'll keep you guys posted if anything kind of pops up. We now interrupt this suspension install to go retrieve a pallet that is coming off the side of the road. I do actually believe that it is closed for Mr. Blake Fitzgerald's FP 3.0. So if you guys are coming out, make sure you guys stop at the Wrenchworks booth and get entered in Wrenchworks giveaway number 19, because anything you buy there will count towards the next giveaway. But we are taking a brief break to go pick up this pallet, and we're just gonna video every single thing that happens in life. Yes, we still have the parts donor. Well, you guys don't even know, I don't even think you know the story about that truck yet. Anyway, brief pause. I never ever wanted to buy a forklift. Like, yeah, sure, like I would love to have one, but man, they're not that cheap, especially if you get the tires that don't like get stuck everywhere. And I really didn't want to buy expensive forklift. And now that I have Mr. Frank the fork truck, I could never live my life again without him. It has been the most useful thing in the entire world. So if you're on the fence about a forklift, man, just do it and thank me later. But yeah, we're gonna grab this pallet here hopefully in a second and get back to what's actually important. All right, pallet secured. First look at the new front four link over here. We're not going to get too crazy with tightening anything down quite yet because the weight is not on the front suspension. Usually you go ahead with front suspension, torque anything with the weight on the wheels, not jacked up and kind of like free floating, kind of how it is. But we got our bracket up there. The 3/4 hardware with the big washer goes up top. The other 3/4 hardware goes in the back, and then you got your hardware for the bars. Got those set to the appropriate lengths, and these are kind of like just propped in there now until I go ahead and do the other side, and I can wiggle the axle around. But a couple quick notes on here when you're setting up some bar lengths and some things that have messed me up a little bit before is, you know, you want center of this hole to center of this hole, but when you have these heims, obviously those can wiggle and rotate, and sometimes they're not completely straight, kind of like this one. You can kind of see it's not like perfectly center. So when you're doing your eye-to-eye measurements, it's not really going to be exactly true. You can kind of straighten those up, but what I'll do is I'll get those kind of like where they are in the center, and then I'll take a different measurement and I'll go from like say a fixed location right here to a fixed location here in the back. That way I know my lengths on both bottoms and both tops are completely the same. You're gonna wanna do an alignment anyway, but I don't know, I just get OCD about the both top bars and both bottom bars being the exact same length. So you could have a little bit of variance with these heims just being a little bit off center. But you can see we are looking good. I really love the look of these front four links. I really do. I think they set it off super well. So got the gray overlays which match the granite crystal granite paint code on this gem, but we're looking good. We'll tighten all that stuff down when it's on the ground, but we're gonna go ahead and do the other side real quick. Okay, four link is officially in and done on both sides. Again, we're going to save tightening till the very end. Next up on the front suspension list is we're going to go ahead and get the coils ready to drop in. Then we'll work our way towards track bar. Again, this is a full Carly kit from CJC Off-Road, so all the goodies as you guys are kind of used to. Coils, track bar, which actually I don't know why I'm pointing over here. The rest of the suspension stuff sitting over here on these tables waiting to go in. So King 2.5s with the blackout package on the stuff. We got the track bar sitting down here, steering stabilizer, all that stuff. But we're gonna go ahead and get the coils in first. Then we'll get our track bar from Carly put in. Got all the fixings. Another quick update, we have got the coils in, we have got the shocks in. Again, everything's just kind of loose, chilling. We have got some super sick face plates for the reservoir mounts up there. Again, those are really just the mounts that Carly gives you, that they supply with the 2.5 Kings. We got some custom plates made to put on them bad boys. Ooh, they look good. So also got the track bar in. We're really ready to put some weight on the front end. I might get some temporary wheels and tires. Really want to go ahead and get started on the back, and then we'll just kind of like go back over every single nut and bolt. I don't want to like get mixed up with what's tight, what's not. But really, we can set this thing down on the front axle and keep chugging along, and that's what we're gonna do. We are pausing this video to answer a question that has been getting asked quite frequently. Michael is not here any longer. He works for S&S, so he is with the guys at S&S doing amazing, great things. I wish Michael nothing but the absolute best. Michael is one of the most talented, smart people that I have ever, probably have ever met and got a chance to work with over the last few years. But he has moved on to S&S, and it is an amazing, great opportunity for him. He's gonna continue to do great things. We will still collab with him on the 05 and the billet engine and all that stuff. Still perfectly good. No issues. Guys over at S&S have been amazing. We've been teamed up with them forever. Nothing, literally nothing is changing. But that is pretty much hopefully answers all your questions. But yeah, it's me and Dahl here. We're doing the same things. But anyway, the other topic that I want to kind of like address, non-related, but it gets popped in there quite frequently. You know, things change, situations change, people change sometimes over the course of years. And a lot of times I get the comment of, you're not the same person that you were back in New Jersey in the 2-car garage. It's like, yeah, I am definitely not. I don't want to be. Every year you want to better yourself. You want to change situations. You want to learn more. You want to do more. You're going to develop things and evolve as a person physically, mentally, just throughout. Like if you're staying in the same spot doing the same thing over and over and over again, that's not really any progression. So just because situations and things change and people are a little different, that's not a negative or bad thing by any means. Just things change, situations change, people evolve, people change. It is constantly moving. And if you're trying to better yourself or progress, it is inevitable that people are going to change and things are going to change. And it's not negative by any means. It's actually positive. Just remind yourself, guys, you know, everyone's shooting to be somewhere and it takes time, and there's nothing wrong with things changing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that answers the question. But we're still going to be trucking away here, doing amazing things. Michael's going to be doing amazing, great things for S&S. Look forward to continuing the relationship with S&S and the 05 and all that stuff. Huge thank you to Michael for everything that we've done together in the past. And a lot of it's would have never been possible without Michael. So I'm forever thankful and grateful for what we did together, the time that we spent together, and the things that we accomplished. But only up from here for me and him. You know, just in different locations, guys. But that's pretty much it. Let's carry on with the video. Okay, she's back down on the ground. Front axle's underneath its own weight. Definitely gonna need to adjust the front arms for the lift coils that we have in there. The pitch is definitely a little off. Again, we're gonna need to get in alignment, but we got some weight back on the front end. Before we move completely to the rear on the rear 4-link kit, we're actually going to install the rear lift coils for this kit. We're gonna start there, which kind of includes a track bar drop bracket as well. So new rear coils, a bracket for here. We got a diff cover. We got all kinds of stuff going on back here, but we're going to go ahead and set our ride height before we go ahead and make any bar length adjustments or plans for the rear 4-link. We want to go ahead and make sure the ride height's good before we set any of that, because that could change just a little bit throughout. So I'm going to set ride height first, then we'll go ahead and move these silly 2500 rear control arms. Now, if you guys have a 2500, these rear control arms, and if you like to do burnouts and get rowdy, these things are really known to flex a lot. So if you have a built transmission, a G56 truck, even if you don't like to get rowdy, just overall want a more solid feeling in the rear. A lot of people make just a bar upgrade kit. You don't have to go with the full deal, even though that's what we love here. Doing something with the rear arms on these things is pretty crucial in my opinion. Just a side note. So let's get to work on the rear. Don't worry, wheels and tires should be here any day now. Don't you worry, we're gonna completely transform the look, but let's get cracking on this rear. No, I think it's supposed to be 65 today. 65 today, people. My goodness. Well, in this installment of Wheels and Tires, we have quite the assortment. So if you guys remember, honestly, we're going back to FP 2.0 at this point. So Blake's last event, the end of the season for burnouts and all that stuff, you guys know we got pretty crazy. We pretty much ruined like every set of 22-inch wheel that we had. Our good buddy Matthew Fox, Diamond Detailing 931, was amazing enough to take all 10 of these wheels and get them back to honestly probably better than new. So huge thank you to Fox. He got them all polished up. So we're actually gonna send Dawson, Heavy Haul Daw, back on the road again. He's gonna go to Bad Habits. Dallas already has like 4 sets of wheels and tires there for other stuff. We're gonna drop off 10 wheels with some tires. He ordered us some tires, and we're gonna do wheel swap of the century. So we've got all of the well, some of them weren't even burnout wheels that we made into burnout wheels, but we've got two and a half sets of JTXs. We've got some tires because Blake's is right around the corner again, so we've got to get all this stuff situated. We've actually got some 16-inch steel wheels that we are going to experiment. A lot of actual like Cletus and cars and stuff, they really want you running steel wheels, not aluminum wheels. So we are going to kind of set up maybe one or both of the trucks that are going to do burnouts on some steel wheels for the back. We're just going to play with it. Steel wheels are really cheap, inexpensive. They're like 50-60 bucks. If you end up burning the absolute crap out of the beads down, it's really not that big a deal. So Daw's gonna hit the road. He's got to go to Fox's. He's got to go to Dallas's, and we're gonna get this wheel and tire situation figured out with the help of Bad Habits. I don't even know what town they're in.
Jolton.
Oh, okay. We'll put their information up there because they've been a huge help with wheels and tires. Again, if you guys need detailing and polishing, hit up Fox. He's the man. All local to kind of like, honestly, more local to Tennessee than
Tennessee area.
Middle Tennessee. Let's just call it Middle Tennessee. So I want to keep you guys updated in the loop of everything that's going on, because how many things can we have going on at one time? The answer is probably about like 10, 15, 20.
The answer is just yes.
The answer is just yes. We got all of it. Look at you in the t-shirt. Ooh, buddy, put it away. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna go back inside, keep working on the suspension on the gray truck, and Daw's gonna hit the road. Update for you guys. We have been working away. We have got the rear 4-link brackets bolted up. You guys can kind of see the rear control arm, the factory one. It utilizes that same bolt and then kind of drops a bracket down for your new link attachment point. Got a couple bolts that hold that in down low. We've got our bars mocked up. We've got our heim joints set. We've got both bars on either side set to equal lengths. We've kind of got our front mount here, and we've got some holes that need to be drilled up in there. So we've got those marked down. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Then we can attach the lower bar completely. One thing I do want you guys to kind of like note, those 4 bars on either side, they control your axle pitch. So if you only have the top bars in with nothing holding them going this way, it is possible for your axle to try to sweep one way or the other. I'm only mentioning that because that's the way we did our lower brackets, just easier to get them out of the way. But what you want to do is you want to make sure your axle is back in the correct location before you set these, because there is a chance that if this is pitched or not right and you set these, you could potentially put your axle in the wrong location. So we've got our track bar temporarily put back in just to kind of center us up, and we've got the weight back down on the axle. And what we did to kind of ensure that is we measured our factory control arms and made sure center to center on either side is not rolled forwards or backwards at all, if that makes sense. So you just want to kind of like double check that, just so you're not accidentally putting basically your axle control in the wrong location. These bars are the same length. We've got it set back where it exactly was, and we're kind of ready to drill those holes Then once we put those bars back in, we will then take our top bars out. Don't just take every single thing apart, because you're gonna lose real fast where that axle should be kind of sitting. So just be careful with that. It's a little bit different than a leaf spring axle if you guys are used to that, but that's where we're at. We're almost done with the bottom here. This kit definitely does take a little bit of time, a little bit of finesse, but we are closing in on getting that wrapped up. Once we're done with that, we'll go ahead and move on to rear shocks, some of the other powder coat stuff, put our hitch back in, all kinds of stuff that needs to go back in, but we've got our top bars here mocked up. So let's get to drone spools. I'm gonna give you a sneak peek before we end this video out, just because I'm so hyped. This thing looks so insane, but I don't want to give away like the final look of everything. It is going to be over the top insane. Trust me when I tell you guys, this is up there with one of like the baddest trucks that we've built. But take a look. Woo, buddy. Got some 2414 JTXs. We're ditching a little bit of the black theme, and you guys will see that when it's finished. But again, you guys, you're gonna wait to see that. But we got the rear all set up. The front 4-link and the rear bars, oh my goodness gracious. Like, they look so killer. Man, just the red just tying in everything. Woo, buddy. It is going to be sick. But that is pretty much going to wrap up this video, guys. We are on a pretty tight crunch deadline as of right now. Number one, to get this truck done. This is like #1 priority. Top of the list, has to get done. Actually, by the time I'm closing this video, this has to be done today, so we can get to the detailer. But anyway, we will wrap this up. You guys will see the finished product very, very soon. And then we've got like what, 2 or 3, maybe 4 days to put together the burnout truck for Blake Fitzgerald's event. So make sure you guys are coming out to that. But that's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you have not already. We'll see you guys in the next video very soon. See ya.